The wonderful Keri Russell returns to the political thriller genre, this time as an actual American. Let's talk about The Diplomat. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the new Netflix series, The Diplomat. This has been renewed for a second season, so we will be getting more of this show. And also, Keri Russell nominated for an Emmy for lead actress in a drama series. The Emmys would have, I think, taken place already, but with all the strikes and everything, it's been moved to January, so we'll find out soon enough about her chances there. But in any event, you can stream the, 8 episodes, I think, for season 1 currently on Netflix. Before we launch into all the specifics of the show, though, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got a ton of great movie and TV reviews for you to check out almost every day. I try to post something for you guys. Usually about 5 to 6 videos go up a week. So please consider subscribing down below. Hit that notification bell as well, or just comment on this video, like it. All that stuff does help the channel out tremendously. All right, so Keri Russell, look, I have loved her for a long time. I never actually watched Felicity, which was her, really big break, I guess. But she was in this great movie called Waitress, which later became a Broadway show. And that sort of, because I figured she would be, more, I don't know, lighthearted, or, Felicity was like a WB drama, and I just didn't know what to expect. But she blew me away in Waitress, and then ever since then, kind of been following along with her career. I was way late to The Americans, her really huge show on, I think that was on FX, and you can see that now on Hulu. And maybe other streaming services as well. But she's wonderful in that. And then everything since, has just been great. She's, gone into some horror films, and she's done some other TV and movie work. She was in Cocaine Bear earlier this year. But the political thriller of The Americans, is really, I think, what gave her the gravitas for the awards and all of that kind of stuff. So she returns to this same genre, but of course in The Americans, she was playing a Russian spy who was posing as an American. Here she is really repping for the American team, and this is kind of exploring her life. She plays Kate Weiler here, and she is the brand new ambassador to the UK for the U.S. I don't know how all of that works really, but whatever. Anyway, she's helping out with that and, trying to solve international crises and all of this. But alas, she's also got home problems as well, including a deteriorating marriage to another career diplomat in Hal Weiler. That's her husband, played by Rufus Sewell. And we've seen him in many, many things. The Father, most notably maybe on the big screen. He was also in that horrible M. Night Shyamalan movie called Old. But so that's the basic premise here of this show. And, I missed The West Wing. I really didn't get into dramatic television until, the early to mid 2000s with things like Lost. And I just never went back for whatever reason. So The West Wing is something I've not seen. I know it's like, the pinnacle of political television, right? But this actually, even though I've never seen a moment of that, I've seen enough Aaron Sorkin shows and movies to know that this is definitely kind of biting a little bit off of the writing style of Aaron Sorkin. And this was created by Deborah Kahn, who I am not familiar with, but she's done a lot of FX shows and HBO shows over the years. And guess what? She was a writer and producer on The West Wing for a few of its later seasons. So there you go. We've obviously sort of trapped down her her main focal point, I think, when, writing and creating is this political television. Ever since, I got into TV dramas, I have seen several of the hot political dramas, Madam Secretary, the House of Cards on Netflix as well. And, The Americans, I would certainly consider a political thriller as well. So this has many, many hallmarks of the best elements of those shows, to be honest. The writing is sharp. Now, I will say it's a little bit soapier than I would imagine The West Wing probably was. It is more Madam Secretary, in that kind of vein, especially with her home life and stuff. But one thing that kind of strikes me about this show, as opposed to a Madam Secretary that got 22, 24 episodes per season, whereas this one gets 8, they've got to really cram in a lot. And this may be one of the downfalls of a streaming show versus a network show, is that with only 8 or 10 episodes, you've really got to cram really a full season's worth of storylines into probably half the amount of episodes, or sometimes less. Whereas I think in other instances, we may get a lot more time with the character development and stuff. And interestingly enough, I wasn't sure if this was going to be considered a political thriller based on the first episode. It's a little thrilling, I guess, but I was thinking definitely more along the lines of a drama, akin to like a House of Cards, or The West Wing, I'm sure. But as the episodes go, I watched the first 3 episodes for this review. It does definitely get a little bit more thrilling. And in that regard of sort of the condensing, it's a little confusing with everything going on. Because in that first episode, they start talking about all of these things and introducing all these characters fresh. You don't know any of them. And I was a little bit confused, I'll admit, about who exactly was dealing with what, and who this person was, and all of that. Things, sort of take shape a little bit past that first episode. But the first one might be a little slow for people expecting something a little more exciting, let's say. But I just wrapped up Madam Secretary maybe 6 months ago. I was a bit late to the game on that one too. And that was not what I would call a political thriller. I would call that a political drama. There were, a lot of talking scenes, a lot of relationship stuff. Here we get, some of that in spurts, but it's more like, okay, exposition dump, because we have to kind of, roll through these episodes. And I think that's probably the main downfall of the series. Now, is it a bad thing to be left wanting more of a show? Maybe not. Maybe that's a sign of a really well-written show and well-put-together show. And it's certainly well-acted. I don't even have to talk about how great Keri Russell is, because she always is. I don't think I've ever seen her give, a false note in a performance. She's really one of my favorites. And there's some other people in the cast that fire pretty well as well. Rory Kinnear, he's been in a bunch of different things. Ali Ahn, David Gyasi or Gyasi, don't really know him, but everybody gels well. It's taking that template that we already know about sort of political drama, political thriller. But to me, it was like just kind of sped up because they had to do everything in 8 episodes. So look, I'll finish off this season. I am curious about season 2, since it has been greenlit. What are we going to see there? Is it going to be, more of a standalone? Okay, for these 8 episodes, we're going to focus in on this story. I would like to have seen more episodes. Even in the early days of Netflix, House of Cards got, I think, 13 episode seasons, not 8. So certainly a bit of a downfall in that regard. But look, this is a very enjoyable show, and Keri Russell, fantastic as always. I leave The Diplomat with a B+. And you can check that out, season 1 on Netflix now. Thanks so much for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.